All right, so welcome back to the Moto Bookie podcast. We are back in studio with my lovely daughter, Isabella.
Hey guys, I'm back and better than ever. I'm really excited to talk about RedBud. It's my favorite race of the year.
Nice. So we are in studio today for a review show of RedBud, kind of talk about a couple of different topics. I just wanted to give a quick injury update on my 40-plus novice career coming to an abrupt halt.
Halt or end?
Yeah, I guess it would be a complete ending. So it's confirmed. Broke 2 bones in my wrist. I'm not going to pan the camera down, but broken ankle, ruptured right Achilles tendon. I had surgery on Thursday, so we're a couple of days out of surgery on the Achilles, broken ankle, and slight fracture to the jaw.
I mean, I would think after the last time we went to LACR when we saw this guy get helicoptered out of the track that it would be the last time you'd ride there, but you decide to run it back.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. Glen Helen was closed, and so I decided to end my career at LACR. So shout out to everybody at LACR for making the jumps way too peaked out and track way too fast.
Don't blame it on that. Don't blame it on that. Let's not stay hasty.
But anyways, that's my story. So now I've decided I'll be a full-time podcaster and moto journalist, being that I can't ride. being that I can't ride anymore. My wife has threatened divorce, and
is it going to be hard, like when we go to A1 and you see the bikes and you just like see everybody talking about their racing and like you see bikes, will it give you a little PTSD? Or are you going to be fine?
I'm okay with it.
Are you going to like tweak out on me when you see a bike?
No, I won't. It's not going to start shaking like I'm having withdrawals. No, I'll be fine. I had fun with it. Like I said, I started late. I mean, I started when I was 41. Yeah. So it's not like I've been doing it my whole life. I did win the 2-stroke World Vet. I got second at the World Vets, so.
I didn't know that was going to be your last race.
I didn't think it was going to be my last race. I thought I was going to get a chance to do Mammoth. I wanted to try to qualify in the Squid class, the C class, for Loretta's, but it didn't happen. So
it's okay.
I do want to thank a few people. There was a family at LACR who was kind enough to pack up all my stuff and keep it safe for me while I was at the hospital. I want to give a shout out to my buddy Casey Cromer, who was, definitely there for me, rushed me down to the hospital and helped attend to me because my wife and daughter were out of town on vacation at the time. So I want to say thank you to them. And then thank you to Dr. Rarick. He's supposed to be one of the best in the game here locally with the Achilles. Yeah. So I want to thank him for getting me into surgery right away. All right, let's get into the racing. I'll start off by saying, please go back and listen to my previous reel where I said that Danger Boy would win RedBud, and sure enough, he got the job done.
Good job, Dad. That was a good one. I mean, he had good starts, and that was something that I think he needed to clear up, and he did it, and he proved himself. I mean, he's been proving himself, but I'm saying like it's only getting better from here. Yeah. Yeah.
So a few things about that. He rode very smart in the first moto. Yeah. Got out. Hunter, obviously gapped him, in the moto.
Rode his race.
He, in the first moto, a second's as good as a first because the overall's dictated by the second moto.
It's kind of like riding him by himself in a way. He like had a gap in front and in back of him. So like,
I thought it was, an incredible ride. Second moto, eventually I felt that, there would be a kink in the armor somewhere, whether it was a bike issue. And I actually have messages on Instagram for Hunter.
Oh, okay.
I've been messaging Danger Boy on Instagram, kind of just telling him, hey, just got to wait. Like, there will be, whether it's a crash or, and I'm not wishing that, but whether it's a crash or a bike malfunction or a tip over and a lever fucking breaks off.
Or even just like the race itself, like where the race is located, like.
Ain't one of his tracks, but, he's been patient. He's been there all year long, just kind of, in it. He's only 11 points down now. So this is a whole new title chase. Yeah. And while we're on that topic of Hunter, I would tell you, I think, Honda's smart, right? They're not going to come straight out of the asterisk thing and tell you, oh yeah, hey, by the way, it's, you know, a fracture.
Yeah.
They're going to keep everything under wraps as long as they possibly can. But I think Hunter's hurt.
You think that's a smart thing for Honda to do by kind of just like, I mean, if I was a team manager, I wouldn't go out saying the next day, oh yeah, one of my riders are hurt. Like,
no,
exactly located, especially if he's not going to come back.
I think they're doing that to just kind of keep everyone on their toes, which is smart. Yeah. You by no means want to let the star guys know that he could be out for a round or two, because in their eyes, it's blood. It's blood in the water now. I mean, not that it's not blood in the water anyways, but if you know coming into next weekend that Hunter's not going to be there, it's a lot different. Yeah. I mean, when you know you got to battle RJ, who's kind of out of the title hunt, you got Shimoda, some of the Cali boys. You have like
the DeFranciscos now. You have like
your mindset definitely goes into a different mode. I think you're in championship management. You know, let's just get out there. Let's get some good starts. Let's put the bikes up front.
Yeah.
I still think Hunter's hurt. The way he was holding his wrist, and of course the team manager is going to come out and say everything's fine. Everything's fine. He just kind of felt weird. I can tell you, I don't see that. I think if Hunter had a little bit of a weird feeling in his right hand,
I don't think he's getting
his
out.
ass would have jumped back on the bike. Yeah. Because he knows what's at stake.
Or try roll around.
Whatever.
Just try and finish the
race.
Get
a 25th and grab some points. Yeah. But that's not what we saw. But, you know, other than that, shout out to Hunter, man. I hope he does get better. I mean, we want to see a battle. I don't want to see a rider get hurt. But that's it, boys and girls. He got his taste of his first victory. And I think now that he's tasted it, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. I really do. I think some of those more wide open, sit off the back of the bike and pin that puppy wide open are his tracks.
Yeah.
I mean, you watch him doing Larocco's leap and his ass is almost off onto the rear tire and he's just getting every inch of that jump. And that's his style. And I kind of said it earlier in the week. I said, I think this is a track that's a little less technical and a little more wide open, and it's right up his alley. And shout out to Danger Boy. I don't care about all you haters on Instagram. Call me. I got someone messaged and said, you've been dangerized. Super lame, bro, but whatever.
Dangerized.
Yeah, I've been dangerized. I'm just like, yeah, I've been dangerized. I'm just calling it how I see it.
Yeah.
And I see a young champ in the making.
Hell yeah.
So moving on from that, I will talk a little bit about Kitchen. We'll stay on the Star Boys for a minute, but Kitchen definitely showed. It's really weird. I don't know what happened, how the guy can get 9th or 7th or 9th in the first moto. Looks like he's just out there part of the mid-packers.
I mean, he was a mid-packer. He's been a mid-packer.
No, I mean, he showed signs of brilliance here and there, but I mean, and then the second moto, whole shot, gone. Like basically rode his race. So shout out to Kitchen. I don't know what's up with the first moto deals, but he's got the speed. Yeah. I mean, the speed is there. So shout out to him. Yeah. Next one up we have is the Justin Cooper. I think that's a great comeback ride for a 3rd overall.
Tiny little mistake. It's just little mistakes. When he made that little boggle out, like, I don't know,
right before
the jump. Yeah, like little, just tiny mistakes. But I think he's been staying consistent when it comes to that.
Especially coming back from an injury.
Oh yeah, a lot. But like, I think riders need to start, like, when it comes, like when they're coming back from an injury, like, I like how they're staying consistent. Like, I feel like he can do a lot more and like push himself, but I think he's being smart when it comes to like, okay, I just got off an injury. Like, I want to kind of just keep it like calm this year.
Yeah.
Because he still has Supercross, so like, yeah.
So I think, shout out to Jay Coop on that one. Staying on the 250s, the Rider D, Tom Vial.
Oh God.
Get together in that Moto 1 was lines just came together. I'm not really blaming anybody. I think Rider D was trying to come back to the, block that line and didn't expect for Vial to not let out of it. But
if you wanted to get into that line, why didn't you go into where Vial was?
Correct.
But he literally just crossed like the whole thing.
No, he definitely came straight.
I mean, that's
across.
aggressive. I love it. Like that's something
I think you're trying
for
to
sure
block.
Barsha would do, but like not when you're taking yourself down too.
So I think all in all, I think that was they both got lucky on that one. I mean, they both got up and rode away from it.
That could have been bad.
It could have been bad. It could have been bad, but shout out to them for giving us some entertainment. I guess it was entertaining.
They're the Hammaker, like Hammaker, Vial, and like Hampshire. I think it was like that group.
Yeah, they had
Shimoda. It was something like that was a good racing. It was that Moto 1.
Moto 1, they definitely were going back and forth.
That was a fun race to watch.
So, we can get into Shimoda a little. I got some concerns now. I know the big rumor is that he's going to be going to Honda at the end of the year. But my concern is kind of coming off 2 bad seasons in a row now. So it's like, he did last year, Crash, Supercross. He didn't do very well. He did have a run in the outdoors.
He had a good outdoor last year.
Correct.
Yeah.
He did. He didn't win a championship or anything, but he was in it to win it. This year, Supercross was a dud.
Yeah.
And now outdoors, kind of a dud. I am having some issues. The young kids are getting faster, and yes, Jeff's out of the class, Hunter's out of the class, but you got guys coming up like, start with Deegan. You got your Rider D's, you got Hymus,
Kitchen.
You got Kitchen.
Yeah.
And I just feel that, this was the year I think everyone anticipated Shimoda definitely
step it up a little.
Banging with Hunter, showing that he's dominant in the class. And I'm not seeing that. I don't know if it's a bike. You're hearing a lot about the Cowie, just it's not working.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's going to be able to rebuild that winning confidence just because he's jumping on a Honda.
Yeah.
So I was hoping to see some more out of Shimoda.
I mean, I think it's a combination maybe of just the bike, but like when you see like when he was like, I don't know, who was it that he was like, who was the other Kawasaki that he was banging out with, like Hammaker. So like when he was going back and forth when they was like in front, like he just didn't give me like an aggressive, like he didn't protect his position. Like he's not that big of an aggressive rider. And I think that's something that he never really had when it came to Supercross and when it came to like outdoors as well, that I think he's missing a little bit more of like that aggressiveness in his riding.
Yeah, I think yes, I would agree with you. I don't think he's ever been known as an aggressive rider. Unfortunately, to win a championship, especially with the class of people he's going to be in with, which is Deegan, doesn't care. Deegan will cross jump you, take your line away. And I love it. Oh, yeah. I think Justin Cooper's not going to be taking much shit. So, I mean, I think he's going to definitely need to find some aggression to win a title. Mm-hmm. Yes, can you fall into place, somewhere in the top 5? But in order to win a title, you're going to need to be able to bring the heat. I mean, you look at last year when Hunter made that last corner pass on Thrasher in the Supercross, he just sent it. And got right up into Thrasher, kind of blew him off the track and took the win. And there's going to be moments where Shimoda's going to need to do that, or he's going to become a top 5 guy. Because there's a group of kids coming that are fast and they got balls and they don't care. So I want to give a quick shout out real quick before we jump off the 250s to Tom Vial. I think that second moto, he got a second place, which showed a lot of fight. I didn't see Danger Boy put up too much of a fight because I think he knew the points. Mm-hmm. He's not going to get up there and end up throwing it away to get a second place in a moto. Yeah. But Tom Vial, I think next year, with one more year experience under his belt, because he comes from the GP system, I think Tom Vial is going to be a force to be reckoned with on the outdoors. I don't think he's a contender indoor, but I think outdoor he's a contender. So shout out to Vial.
Yeah. RJ.
On a downer, I hate to say it, RJ will never win a title.
Dude, his mess ups are just so little. Like he needs to like it's something every race.
Weekend.
It's something like
every weekend. I don't know the last time, and I'm sure he has done this because he's won races, but I don't think he's strung together 4 weekends in a row of 8 good motos. Yeah. And there's no chance to win a title like that. Do I think he'll win races? Absolutely. But I'm going to call it right now. Hampshire is a lifer 250 rider.
I mean, what I could say about RJ and him as a rider is he is both good at Supercross and I'm not saying consistent.
Yeah.
Either we have some of the riders like Marchbanks, like he's better in like motocross than he is in Supercross. But I think the good thing that RJ has is that he's consistent in both.
And he gives it 140% effort.
Yeah.
It's not.
I don't know what it is.
You know what?
I know it's not the bike.
It's not the bike. No.
Yeah.
Just some people's style lends to hanging it out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Some people have that controlled style like Jet, where it constantly looks in control, perfect posture. Him and Sexton look like poetry in motion. Then you watch Barsha go around the track and it looks like he's facing death off of every jump. So it just, everyone has a different style. And Deegan's a little like that.
Yeah.
You watch Deegan ride, and they're not big oh shit moments.
He's always on,
but there's some moments where you go, oh boy. But it's entertaining. But I'm sorry to say, I think RJ Hampshire is going to be at best a B to C rider if he does get a factory seat on a 450 team.
Will he?
Yeah, I don't think RJ Hampshire is 450 factory material. He's not proven enough, and he can't seem to keep the bike on two wheels, and I don't see a team investing in him.
I don't see them investing in a 450 for him too.
Correct.
Like if that is the problem.
If you can't do it on a 250, why a team's going to think you're going to do it on a 450? So, sorry to say that. And last on the 250, I'm just calling it. Last on the 250, shout out to Dax Bennett. I think that was awesome. He got number 1 qualifier. Granted, that didn't transition into the race. I think he went 10th overall. I think somewhere around 10th overall. Okay. Somewhere in that range. But he did beat Ryder D. He did beat Swole, but Swole had a bike issue in the first moto. I think he's going to be a year or two out, and he's a force to be reckoned with. I think that qualifier showed the speeds there. But obviously, as an amateur, you need to learn the pro kind of how pro day goes, which is the motos and the signing and everything you need to do, which it took Deegan a little while to kind of get the flow of how the day goes as a professional. Yeah. And how quick the motos come back around and recovery and all that stuff. But I think Dax Bennett is definitely somebody that's a star. He's going to be the real deal. I really believe that. Jumping into the 450s, Jet, not much to say. 1-1, whole shot, 1-1. Yep. It's sad though. It's a sad day.
Why?
When the guy that's battling him for the whole shot is on a privateer Kawasaki, and his mom and dad are basically bringing him to the races, and he's on a complete privateer stock for the better part of a stock bike, and he's the only guy that can get up there and even get close to giving Jet a run for the whole. It's concerning. I mean, you have a handful of other factory bikes on the line.
Dylan, Sexton.
I mean, so shout out once again to Ty Masterpool. We have more in the show to say about him in a little while. Yeah. But Jet, great job, man. I know the broadcast got their panties in a ruffle in that moto where Jet allowed Dylan to close up on him, and they're going, oh, here we go. Is he in the danger zone? By the way, Jason Wygant, I know everybody loves you, but his sayings are corny. He was never in the danger zone. That was a comment you need to save for a rainy day. I like how
they try to hype it up like that, but I genuinely know, like, Jet's
never in the danger zone. Jet was cruising around out there, spaced out, thinking about what mods he's going to do to his R8, and he just spaced out and didn't realize.
Did you see when he posted his Ferrari?
Yeah, but. All that happened there, people, was that Jet Lawrence was like figuring out dinner reservations and accidentally let Dylan get too close. He was like,
oh, wait, hold up. Let me like fix that real quick.
Correct. So he let him close up to like a second and a half, and the broadcast all got a hard on.
I freaked out.
Yeah, they all got a Woody, and they're like, oh my God, here he comes. And then next thing you know, he fucking stretched it out to 7 seconds. So yeah, Wygant, you guys, please keep your panties in, or don't do that. Yeah. Jet's just playing with him. Honestly, once again, week like 7 in a row. I admit it, didn't expect it.
No, I know you didn't.
Dylan has no chance of beating him unless Jet crashes. Dylan looks like when he's chasing down Jet, he looks like he's on the edge of death. The bike's hopping right to left. The front end's getting out. I mean, he looks like he's riding on such the ragged edge to try to keep up with him.
Jet just looks like he's in his own land.
Jet looks like he's like at the, on a peewee track, like fucking around. Yeah. And he's still whooping him. So shout out to Jet, dude. Do your thing, bro.
Hell
I thought Sexton was going to be our saving grace.
I thought there was going to be a good fight. Like
Sexton don't got any smoke for him. I thought Sexton had something for him after that second moto at Paula. But the problem is every weekend that passes, Jet gets more and more and more and more comfortable which he becomes more and more
and
and
it's
more
scary because
dangerous.
he was more and more comfortable in,
More and more
just
comfortable.
in the beginning. Yeah.
So, guys, it's over. Moving on. Let's see. What do we have here? Sexton. The only way Jet crashes is if something bad happens. It ain't happening. Shout out to Anderson for his comeback ride. I think he ended up 5th overall. So it was kind of cool. Like, he's been off the bike for a while, had the neck thing. I'm a big Jason Anderson fan. I think he's a much better supercross rider than he is an outdoor rider.
Yeah.
But congratulations on your comeback to Jason Anderson. AP 4th, about where I thought he was going to be when you look at the list of riders out there.
Yeah.
4th is where AP is going to sit.
I don't expect them kind of any lower or any higher.
I think once in a blue moon, you'll see him pull a podium. But when I saw Sexton coming back, my podium was pretty much Jet, Verandis, Sexton, and AP 4th, Anderson 5th. On a low, I'm disappointed in the corporate moto mafia who will not take their foot off of Time Masterpool's head. It's like he's in a pool drowning, and the whole fucking corporations within motocross just have their foot on his head. I don't understand the kids. This is not a fluke deal. It's every weekend now he's out in front of the factory guys, with the exception of Jet and Sexton. And I just don't understand you factory teams out there. Okay, if you don't want to put them on the fucking team, at least give them everything that the bike needs. But he's out there riding a piece of shit bike that blew up in the second moto. I don't know if it was a shock or what.
Yeah.
The first moto, he had smoke coming out of the back of the bike, and the commentator saying the shock blew out.
Yeah.
So, guys, come on. Give the guy a shot. Don't be the corporate mafia that has your little pool of riders and you're scared to go outside of that fucking pool of riders. It's frustrating. The guy showing up, his mom and dad are basically taking all his shit to the race. He's got a mechanic that shows up to the race, and the guy's destroying most of the factory guys on a pile of shit.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating, that these corporate manufacturers, okay, you don't want to sign him to a team. You don't want to give him Christian Craig's bike to ride. You don't want to give him, Tomac's bike to ride. You don't want to put him on a team. The least you could do is say, hey, you know what? We're going to give you every part that we can possibly give you to at least put you on the best bike possible. If he's riding a Kawasaki, Cowie needs to give him everything that he needs to put that bike up front.
Yeah, because it'll make them look better as a brand. As a brand, yeah. Even though maybe I'm not sponsoring you, but I mean, you're riding my bike. At least maybe put a little things on it to make it seem like it's a good bike. But I mean, I don't know if it's I've never heard of them just Yamaha or Kawasaki or
fill-in riders. It happens all the time.
But I'm saying, But I'm saying I think they want to I think he needs a little bit more time to prove himself. How many races has it been?
5.
Okay, but I mean, I don't know. As a corporate, I think they need a little bit more time to really see how he's gonna do. I don't know.
I value that opinion. I completely disagree. I think when a guy's done it 5 weekends in a row, look, if it's a one moto deal, you go fluke. Guy got lucky. He was just on his shit. Everybody else sucked that day. But every single race, every single weekend on Peacock, that 81 is up front. Yeah. And it's well, if he can do it on a pile of shit, how dangerous is he going to be on some real equipment?
Yeah.
And I just feel that Kawasaki, give him a bike.
Yeah.
Okay, don't put him on the team. Don't clear out a spot for him on the team. I get it. You have Anderson, you got Cincerillo. Don't clear a spot out for him. But the least you could do is give him every necessary part to at least get the bike the closest you can to a factory bike.
Mm-hmm. And see where he lands. Yeah.
No, okay, I know he's not a supercross guy. And I have an idea. Just like there are certain riders that are seeking supercross only deals. Mm. So Time Masterpool could be an outdoor only guy. So sign him for the outdoors only.
Yeah, he'll just be
Jason Anderson doesn't give 2 fucks about the outdoors. He doesn't want to be doing this.
Yeah.
He's doing this to fulfill his obligations, to meet the required races for him to get his money. Jason Anderson does not want to be out at RedBud sweating his fucking balls off to run 5th. Yeah, he just doesn't.
Yeah.
He's a supercross guy. So why aren't they just signing guys like a Ty Masterpool and going, great, next year you're factory Cowie for our outdoor team.
Yeah.
And imagine if that guy could train all during the supercross season, come outdoors, he'd be a force to be reckoned with. Because there are people that are better motocross riders.
Yeah, and it'd be great for Yamaha itself too.
No, Cowie.
Yeah.
Or whatever team.
Or Cowie, yeah.
I don't give a shit what team.
But what I'm saying is like, it'd be better for the team just itself. It's not like something that's going to hurt them.
Correct.
Yeah.
And give the other right. Yes, is he a big name? Not really, but he's growing.
Yeah.
And give him an opportunity to go out there and say, dude, he's not good at supercross.
Yeah.
But outdoors, he's an absolute animal. Okay, so let the guy tell him, dude, next year you're on a factory Cowie. Jason Anderson, you can do indoor only. All we want you to do is focus on getting us a supercross title.
Yeah.
Come outdoors, hang out with your wife, hang out with your daughter.
I wonder how that
stay
goes,
healthy.
though, yeah.
It goes however you want it to go.
Yeah.
People can have a supercross only contract. Why can't they have an outdoor only contract?
That's
What
interesting.
is the difference?
Yeah. I
So
wonder.
shout out to Ty Masterpool again. And the corporate moto mafia should be ashamed of yourself. Give the kid some fucking parts. Next up, Marchbanks. Another great ride for Marchbanks. He put it in, was sixth. I think, sixth overall. So you look at another guy, a Club MX guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, getting him off the 250 was the move. In some cases, that works. Like, for example, I just gave you an example that I don't think RJ going to a 450 changes anything.
Yeah.
Marchbanks going to a 450, he's like a totally different guy. You know, just his body fits it better. And I think with the exception of the first moto, he had to come from behind. Once again, Marchbanks right in behind Jason Anderson, I thought was great. And for me, the ride of the weekend in the 450 class, I'm going to go with Filthy Phil Nicoletti. Congratulations, brother. We're big fans over here. Got a top 10 coming back from a gnarly wrist injury. So Filthy Phil, congratulations on the top 10. Good for you, man. I think you're a good character in the sport. I think you bring something different, and congratulations to you. I want to just close it out with a few closing comments.
I'm so excited.
So, this weekend, there's a rider by the name of Jose Butron, who's been doing very well, mind you, on a, once again, full privateer, like literally begging for money to get from race to race. So in this specific case, he got sponsored for RedBud by Pulp MX. And so I just think it's tacky. And this is specifically to Jason Wygant. I think it's very tacky that just because you and Pulp and you and Steve got this gnarly bromance, a long 25-year relationship bromance deal going, that you spend 3 to 5 minutes on the broadcast talking about Jose Butron and how he was sponsored by Pulp MX for this race. And he was sponsored by Steve. And he went on to tell this like huge backstory about how
in the middle of the race,
during the live broadcast. And he's talking about a guy that's running in 10th, but spends 5 minutes of airtime talking about how Pulp MX is his sponsor.
Great.
And it's like, why would you, we get it. We get it that you and him are homies, but that's also part of the corporate media mafia that runs motocross, is that if you're in with the who's who, they'll spend 5 minutes talking about how you sponsored a rider that's running 10th. But if you listen back to the entire broadcast, when Ty Masterpool almost hole-shotted Jet Lawrence, I think they said sports clips once or twice, very briefly. So you're taking a guy that's almost hole-shotting Jet Lawrence and his corporate sponsor, who is Sports Clips, you spend 10 seconds highlighting Sports Clips, but because your buddy sponsored the guy that's in fucking 10th, you spend 5 minutes talking about Pulp MX on national television. It's tacky. It's really tacky. And it's not good for the sport. You should share the media coverage and the sponsorships associated with that media coverage evenly.
Yeah.
And just because your buddy sponsored the guy in 10th doesn't mean you get to go on and Pulp MX and they're sponsored by Pulp MX and Steve Mathis gave him the money to get to this race and blah, 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 blah. No one gives a shit. Nobody in the world that's watching the race gives a shit. But you take a guy like Ty Masterpool who's counting on Sports Clips to help fund his project.
Yeah.
So part of that is, hey man, we need you to get on TV.
Yeah.
And when you get on TV, what is the hope? They're going to say our fucking name.
Yeah.
And he's doing that. And it's like, oh, Time Master Pool sponsored by Sports Clips, and then on to the next. And I would just say, I think it's bullshit. I think just because Wygant and him are, fucking bromancers doesn't give him the right to go on and on and on the broadcast like that.
Yeah.
Spread out the sponsorship reads amongst all the riders evenly if you're going to do that. And last but not least, two more things. Shout out to WSX. Shout out to Ken Roxon for winning the big class. Whatever they call it over there.
Yeah.
Shane McElrath. I will tell you right now, sorry guys, but the WSX was 10 times more entertaining than RedBud.
Well, I kind of what do you mean by entertaining? Just like the racing was better?
The racing was very close. And yes, I know it's Supercross and outdoors. It's hard to compare because they're a lot closer together. But watching the Super Pole and watching the qualifying and then watching them battle it out with 3 main events. So they raced 3 shorter main events and the racing was great and the passing and Vince Freezy won a moto and everyone's like, oh my God, dude, is he going to take down Roxon? And then, Roxon comes back and then McElrath.
You think that's something you can fix? I think it's just depends the race.
Look,
rider,
it does.
Yeah.
But once again, I can't dictate what all the circumstances are. I'm just telling you that if you told me I had to rewatch one of the events, I'd rewatch the WSX because outside of Deegan winning, the outdoors was a snoozer. Yeah. It's just boring to watch. And part of that is, maybe some of the bigger names are missing. Jet running away with every moto makes it boring.
Yeah.
But shout out to WSX. I'm on board. I think it's awesome that there's another person or another company outside of Feld and that same group of people who have been running the moto industry for 50 years. Someone else is coming in saying, hey, let's make this a worldwide sport, holding races in Europe and Singapore and all these different countries. So cool, yeah. And shout out to them for having the balls to make the investment and go out there and try to bring us some new life. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a really cool event. Simple to watch. I went on YouTube and watched it on YouTube live.
Peacock is like a whole, motocross is so hard.
Yeah, I mean, Peacock made it easier for
you have to
this
account
year.
And then you have to,
But last year was a train wreck, but
yeah.
Shout out to WSX. And then last but not least.
Yeah. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I made a prediction
No, can you, who told you?
Go ahead. Do you want to tell the story? You want me to tell the story?
Okay, so technically on Instagram,
you gotta tell the backstory first.
So my dad was right when it happened. My dad has always been an Eli Tomac fan, biggest,
ET3 People's Champ.
Yes. He just loves him his whole life.
People's Champ.
Weird, but when he crashes and he's like, yeah, he's just not getting back on the bike. He just doesn't have it. He just doesn't have it on him.
I never said he doesn't have it.
Stop, because you were like, there's going to be other faster guys now. Jet coming up, there's just going to be other faster guys. I literally sat there in shock, meaning no way, this diehard fan that's been watching Supercross ever since ever, and he's going to start not having faith in someone. That's weird because I'm an okay Tomac fan, but Barsh is always been my favorite, but I'm saying I even had faith in the guy. I know he's gonna. There's just no way someone that has gotten so many championships is just gonna
walk away like that
on So
okay,
thank you.
Back to the moral of the story is, on this show I've continuously said when I was wrong, and I'm okay with eating my own shit. I was wrong. It's because
you go to the extreme.
I was wrong. And nothing's been confirmed yet. So I take that back. I'm not wrong yet. But there was an Instagram post which really tickled my fancy, which was ET3 outside of a restaurant with his family that was on his mom's Instagram. And my boy is up. He's walking around. There's no walking boot on.
Wait, what was the
Achilles, same as me. Well, I have told everybody in the past. I have told everyone in the past
you guys are connected.
That ET3 and I had some similarities. Not many on the bike.
No, yeah.
Clearly not on the bike. He's great and I suck. But we are similar in a lot of ways. I mean, I find myself to be a good businessman. Clearly he is as well.
Yeah.
And clearly we both need Achilles repairs.
Wait, so there is a chance that you'll get off of this soon.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not getting quite the treatment he is. The guy's made a lot of money. But the Instagram post showed him immediately. My head zoomed down to his foot. I didn't even look at. I don't even know who was in the picture.
You were the one that found this. No one else did.
No, it's on Kathy Tomac's.
Well, like
Instagram
no one's going
account.
in that depth, but you.
Well,
wow.
I follow the mom on Instagram.
TMZ.
I follow the mom on Instagram, and the minute the picture came out, I spreaded it out.
You did a little one of these.
I did one of these and looked directly at his fucking foot, and there was no boot on, no nothing. Now I know we're only a few months into this, but I may be retracting my words. It could see an ET3 come back.
Why wouldn't that tell us?
I don't know. I don't think that's not his style. I honestly don't
Yeah,
think.
it's
I
never
think,
been though, yeah.
Look, until he knows I'm coming back and I feel I can come back and win,
Yeah.
you're not going to see. Eli Tomac will not come back to run top 5. If him and his dad sit down and they say, we truly feel we can come back next year and make a title run, he'll be back.
Oh, but he's not just going to let her. Yeah, it's all or nothing.
No. He's not coming back to run top 5
Oh,
and be a
nothing.
minute behind Jet. That shit ain't happening. He'll just hang it up. So let's all just say a prayer if you're at home, because if ET3 comes back next year, I think the sport viewership will really explode. Even if A1, there's an announcement that Eli's coming to the line.
Oh,
it's
tears are shedding.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Tears are shedding.
At that point, no. I'm there the day before just camping out with binoculars at Anaheim, just standing in the fucking back of the pits, pre-pit party, just hawking it.
Yeah.
So shout out to ET3, man. We hope to have you back. And yeah.
Dad, I'm actually proud of you.
Thank you.
You know how to stalk people on Instagram.
I mean, I'm doing
You went through the mom and you went through the mom's post and then you saw the post and you zoomed in on his leg and I'm proud of you, Dad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, as for RedBud, that's about all we got. I don't care. Call me danger dickhead. Call me dangerous. You guys can all kiss my ass. I really don't care.
Wait, was that a guy that said that?
Yeah, some goon. He's like, "Oh, you've been dangerized." I was like, "Dude, you've been thinking about this way too much." But hey, I'm in, dude.
Yeah.
Hayden, hopefully you'll see this, buddy. I'm waiting for that signed jersey. He's supposed to send us a signed jersey so I could put some merch up on the walls. But shout out to him, man. Shout out to his family, to Brian Deegan and his mom.
It's so cute. Like you see Brian like recording. That's just
I mean, as a parent, he's got to be so proud.
Oh my gosh,
And to every single one of you hater piles of you steamy, you know what? Oh, rich kid's been handed everything. He is making you all eat shit.
Do you remember when the guy literally in the broadcast started talking about he's still not he's proving that like money doesn't get you talent and kept like, oh, his dad like helped him with, or he's like his dad has money, so like do you remember when I was telling you like the broadcast was bringing up such tacky
once again,
why on live television are you talking about like that?
This is the same guy I just did my rant about.
Yeah.
Wygant. Why is Jason Wygant still talking about how his family has money and his dad has money? Why are you guys still look at me. Why are you still keeping that narrative going, especially on Peacock?
Yeah.
Why are you guys even talking about that? All you should be talking about is the skill.
What is that, like his personality trait? Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
But I heard that on this broadcast again. Wygant got into that shit again.
And I was like, why are they talking about that? Like, that's so like unprofessional, tacky. Like,
and I think Wygant's a cool guy. I don't know him. I don't know him from dick.
No, but I mean, I think they're just trying to get shake things up.
But everybody stop with he's been raised with a golden spoon, silver spoon. It don't matter what he's been raised with. He's putting in the work and he's fucking killing it.
And he's like, what, 17, 18?
17.
Yeah, so there you go.
Everybody just stop with the danger boy talk.
Danger eyes.
So yeah, no danger eyes. Whack shit. But hey, thank you guys once again for listening. Check out the MotoBookie app.
MotoBookie.
We are live. Sorry, that's not our theme song. We are live with paid subscriptions, everybody. I want to thank everyone who's been signing up as of late. We've been getting a lot more action on there.
Yeah.
We're only improving the app. Follow us on Instagram. We're open to comments, concerns, anything you can help to make things better. Everything has been straightened out. As far as people, cashing out, we have everything streamlined now, so we're able to get your guys' funds into your account in a very timely manner. We want to thank everybody who has been on the app using the post wall, kind of giving us insight from the races and engaging on the post wall. We appreciate that. We'll do a little bit of a midweek pod where I talk about what bets I won and lost this weekend. I had a lot of good bets where I was really close, just missed them by a little bit. But once again, motobookie.com, put your money where your mouth is. We ask everybody to get on there for the 2-week trial, try it out, and we look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Take it easy.
Peace.